join today as a group. We have a full house, so excited about that. We do have our virtual guests, so wanted to say thank you to Andrew, Steve, Renee, as well as some of our logins here. Thank you for joining us for our February IAMCP SoCal meeting. We're going to continue to kind of give you some updates, go through our sponsor presentation with Sophos, talk to you about what's been going on with our chapter specifically and our board announcements. And then we'll have a chance to get to know one another with the 20-second introductions, and then our recurring annual sales and marketing panel. We've been doing this for years, and it's always a favorite of the attendees. And then open up for some networking. Sound good? We ready to go? Going back. All right, so IAMCP, this is from the Americas level. So as an organization, we're 30 years running deep. We have a global presence, and your membership through IAMCP SoCal extends past just this local chapter. You can use the programming, events, webinars, virtual meetings of other chapters if you're interested in attending. Most of them always have a virtual component. And so if you're in the sales space and wanting to engage with new clients, I would recommend that, one, you become a member. Two, you get to know our website, IAMCP.org. And then here is our America's 2025 board. We have Sandra Knight that, as president, took the reins again. Peter Fidler supporting at vice president. Craig Zimmerman, treasurer. And Patty Caldwell, or Caldini, excuse me. A lot of energy, exciting things going on. There are subcommittees that, if you're interested in learning more as part of SoCal, you can support the Americas initiatives in these spaces. And those that are not receiving communication, also let us know, because there's a lot of content that the Americas is pushing down in regards to events, partnering opportunities, and things that you can take part in. So this is a special thanks to all of our sponsors. So we will actually be hearing from one of the title sponsors here today, Sophos, a little bit later. But all of these have come on and done sponsorship at the national level. And so there's different opportunities, incentives. And if you're interested in being a partner or a sponsor of either SoCal or IAMCP Americas, please see one of our board members, or Fred is a great one to go to. Fred Cooper, raise your hand with your sandwich. There you go.
Here's your wrap.
A few more of the sponsors. So the WIT network, and I'm going to put you on the spot. We have our SoCal leader in the back, April Allen. So we do a lot of collaboration with the WIT SoCal. I am part of a great collective of women that are doing events here, and we always want to invite you to participate in those. There's also ways that you can actually save on your memberships if you want to join both communities. We've heard from Clip Training in the past, but if you want to learn more, all of this can be found on IAMCP.org. And here's some of the statistics that we've been seeing, that there's a great value in participating in this association. We're now over 3,900 members worldwide. 250 events that are being hosted, an increase in P2P revenue of 10.2 billion. We are trying to celebrate and advertise the partnering happening in the SoCal community, so you can, one, celebrate those stories, two, learn how you can be part of a partnering scenario. And I can say that by joining a committee or the board is really how things change for me and my perspective, because once you become involved, you get to know a lot more of the members, get to take part and understand all the other things going on, and it really opens up the network there for you. So QR code, if you're on the fence and not ready to sign up today, we do have a promotion which you can join and try us out for 90 days for $1. That's the QR code you see there. Coming up in March, we have a really exciting IAMCP Illuminate and the WIT Network Igniting Excellence. This is March 10th through the 13th in Irving, Texas. If you want to go ahead and take the QR code, if you're interested as a member, there is discounts. We have a lot that's going on, and there is additional registration for our APAC division that is coming out. But if you want to present, if you want to just attend the IAMCP block or just the WIT block, they're really kind of showcasing some deals and discounts to get you to attend both of those pieces of the conference. And again, this is being held in Irving, Texas. A couple more, kind of the breakdown of what it looks like. The welcome reception, we're going to have keynotes going on. There's a series of WIT events. There's a VIP dinner. More on the event coming up next month. So I was a longtime member of the Impact Committee, and I can say that this is a great place to start if you're looking to see how you can really bring change and what your organization, you as an individual, your company perhaps, or just something that you're passionate about. We've kind of combined our tech advocacy, our DEI, as well as our connections to community into one joint force, kind of 3 subcommittees that had a few members, bring them all together. And some of the great things that they've been doing is really shouting out educational programs that are available, talking to different members about what they're doing. So just like at Christmas with Breezy, where we do their meal prep and giveaway in downtown Los Angeles, that's something that would be celebrated and brought to awareness. But if there's anything on the national scale that you're aware of how people can participate, that's the information they're looking for, because then we can kind of extend that out to all of our members. But that's the QR code. If you want to learn more, there's a channel available. You can sign up for just their updates and news that's coming out, or if you want to be a part of the committee, they do have calls, I believe, once a month, led by Susan Sanders, the new president of the Chicago chapter of IAMCP. All right, that takes us through the U.S. updates. And now we have an opportunity, and Ashok, if you want to help get our speaker up on the screen, I'm going to give you a quick rundown of Andrew and a little bit more about our sponsor presentation. So security operations teams are responsible for ensuring timely, accurate, and context-aware detection and response of cyber threats. During this session, you'll hear why Microsoft data must be a key source of alerts and telemetry for SecOps teams, such as data, however, needs to be analyzed in the wider context of other tools the organization uses 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. If you partner with you'll have an opportunity to address these challenges that help Microsoft channel partners support their customers, complement existing implementations, and increase their revenue. So Andrew, welcome to our meeting.
Good afternoon, everybody. Can you hear me loud and clear?
Yes, we can.
Wonderful. Thanks so much. I would love to share my screen if that's okay with the group there.
Yeah, you should have presented.
Oh, let's see if it'll allow me. There we go. As you can probably already tell, I don't have a really good opinion about the Super Bowl. So I'm going to be one of those folks just watching it for the ads, I'm afraid. So thanks so much for having me. It's a pleasure to get to speak to you all this afternoon. I'm Andrew. I'm one of the engineers over at Sophos. And in about the next 20 minutes, what I want to do is take you through really 2 elements, two bits of the story here. The first is, why would an organization that's already using Microsoft tools, has a Microsoft subscription, using something like Defender for Endpoint, why would they be interested in talking to Sophos? And then the second part, as Microsoft partners, why would you be interested in talking to Sophos? What can we offer that we think is pretty unique in the industry? So that's the agenda. That's what we're going to tackle. And let's get started by talking about the three things that Sophos does. Just out of curiosity, I can't see your hands up, so we'll try and do this on noise. Anyone in the room heard of Sophos before?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. Well, that's great. Thank you for that. The hands up on the call there. That's great. I get to skip the marketing slide about what Sophos does and just dig into the interesting stuff about why are we here? What are we talking about? What is this thing called SecOps, or security operations? So there's this phrase of wanting to stay left of boom. Like a lot of things in cybersecurity, we inherited this term from the military, but it's really well represented by this thing that's on screen here. This is the MITRE ATT&CK framework. If anyone's unfamiliar with this framework, it is a way of helping cybersecurity professionals talk about attacks using the same language. For a while before this came out, every different vendor, every different customer might talk about things slightly differently. This way, we've got now a common way of talking about it. And this is loosely organized in order. So this is from left to right, typically what happens at the early stages of an attack, right out. And you'll see on the right-hand side, that's where file encryption is. That's where ransomware sits, under that impact section. And what we're trying to do from a security operations perspective is move left. We want to get left of the bad thing happening. And the way we do that is by getting more data into our environments. And this is one of my favorite slides to present, because it is not too often that a vendor gets to put all of these other vendor logos on their slides and say, right now, I'm not here to talk about competing with these organizations. I'm here to talk about how we can collaborate together to deliver better results for our customers. So you'll see right on the screen, we've got folks like CrowdStrike, folks like Palo Alto, who have very good competitive products in our space, where we absolutely think one thing that we can do is collaborate with that vendor. And obviously, I want to highlight Microsoft here. What's really important is that all of our integrations with the Microsoft stack, they are included with our offering. So those are part of the overall package. And we think that that's a really good way of demonstrating the value that we see in Microsoft and the value that our mutual customers get out of their Microsoft subscriptions. Some of the other vendors out there take a very different approach. They'll kind of talk about how they can do some integrations, but we've heard pretty bluntly from customers that they will often talk about the customer needing to graduate away from Microsoft. We don't like to hear that, because that's different from what our customers and our partners have worked with that customer on. If you've spent, as a partner especially, if you've spent some of that trusted capital that you've got on explaining to a customer that the best solution to meet the needs that they have is this product from Microsoft, we as another vendor, we certainly don't want to come in and say, well, that was a mistake to get started. Now you need to rip all of that stuff out. You don't need that stuff that you see that you consider yourselves paying for. So we think this is a really different approach to be able to go in hand with our partners to customers and say, you've made the right choices so far. If a Palo is the exact right firewall for your needs, great. We can integrate with that to ultimately deliver better and faster response times through leveraging a single combined visibility platform. Now, one of the questions we often get asked here is, well, aren't you just describing a SIM, security information and event management platform? And this is a bit different. This platform we call XDR. I'm sure everyone's heard of, EDR, and the industry loves to come up with new buzzwords. So XDR is the current one. What XDR means is a data platform. The X represents extended, multiple product sets. The D stands for detection. Now, what we're saying there is we want to look at the telemetry from all of these devices, telemetry from Fortinet, telemetry from SentinelOne, telemetry not only from Microsoft Defender on the endpoint, but also things like the Microsoft Identity Platform, Entra ID, and just the Microsoft audit logs. We can take really good threat intel from those things. So we want to look across all of those things to detect bad things that might be happening. And then the final part is R, enabling response. That response piece is the big difference between a SIM and an XDR platform. Native to the platform is the ability to carry out response actions. If you think a user account has been compromised, to be able to, without opening another tab, without running a script, clicking a button, and sometimes even defining those automations as what's called playbooks, to know that that can just happen automatically when you've defined the scale and the series of events that you want. So there's some really interesting, really clever tech in the middle of this, because unfortunately, not all of those vendors speak the same language when it comes to alert, telemetry, and fidelity. So we need to go through a pretty complex process of cleaning out that data, contextualizing it, and make sure that we're mapping everything into a common schema. We do all of that completely automatically for all of those vendors that you saw on the last slide. So we make it really simple for customers to use the tools they've already got, but now to have more specific visibility into threats that they may have missed before. And that's where the correlation piece comes in. So what we're doing there is we are looking across all of those events that we're seeing from all the different security tools. And sometimes if one tool generates a high severity alert, maybe that gets seen and that gets investigated. But context from another tool that maybe observed something next door to that, a neighbor event, that could still be interesting. And that's why it's really important for us to not just generate what we call cases for every individual thing. We actually want to correlate events together from different sources. That lets us truly be really efficient for the analysts. And as that platform allows our customers to run their own analytics, we also know that many organizations don't have enough staff. There's some coverage out there all the time about how understaffed the cybersecurity industry is. We think some of that's actually a little overblown, but the point is still accurate that many organizations don't have the staffing that they wish they did to carry this out. And that's where we're really happy to introduce our managed detection and response service. That's right, we've gone from EDR to XDR, and now we're talking about MDR. That's where we essentially take all of that investigation, all of that remediation off of our customers' plates and collaborate with them to make sure that we're seeing all of that stuff early. We're taking the necessary actions early as well. Digging in a little bit more to Microsoft, I mentioned these integrations are all included. And it's really important to us that we integrate not only with the graph security APIs. So graph security, that's where Microsoft puts their analytics. So if you're paying for the 3 or the E3, E5 licensed here, Microsoft will do some of these analytics just on their area of, on their discipline, on their area of visibility. But what's really interesting is everybody gets that one on the right-hand side. Everybody gets the unified audit log. And inside the unified audit log are really useful things for us detecting some of the most advanced attacks that happen. Those attacks where the attackers are trying to socially engineer the user. You've probably heard sayings like, attackers find it much easier to log in instead of break in. It is easier to try and get hold of some credentials and sometimes even just go and buy credentials that have already been stolen by some means. That unified audit log gives us really good visibility to generate telemetry related to those things. And we've been on a bit of a journey with this. We've got some stats just from late last year. You can see when we first started this about 18 months ago, we had a few cases. We had a few interesting things come up, and I hope that this slide is a really good indicator of the investment that we've made into this collaboration with Microsoft. You can see significant percent increases quarter over quarter in the number of actual cases where we're seeing real malicious behavior happen in our customer environments. And this is driven by those two integrations that are, I say, included inside of that platform. Just to reference that point again, every single Microsoft subscription includes that activity API, that unified audit log. So every single customer, regardless of what tier they're using in the Microsoft stack, is able to benefit from the work that we're doing on those analytics as well. So really well connected, plays very well with that Microsoft Defender and the rest of the Microsoft stack. That's why we think a customer would be really interested in leveraging our Sophos MDR or XDR service. And I'm just going to skip through these marketing slides. Don't worry, there's not too many of them, to talk about what really matters. What's actually a much better thing than, yeah, we love that our customers love us, but when I think of the importance of this, for me, it always comes back to risk. We have a partnership with Cysurance, a cybersecurity insurance company who we've worked with to show the real value of Sophos MDR. So much so that they offer automatic qualification and significantly discounted premiums for customers that are leveraging Sophos MDR. We have a ton of examples where the savings on cybersecurity insurance alone are able to fund MDR for the customer. So they are not only getting significantly more for less, but they are moving all of those detections way left, and they are having much fewer incidents as well. That's my favorite point to highlight. Folks that manage and quantify risk for a living see how useful having that managed service, bringing all of that telemetry together is. But let's dig into why you might be interested in working with us. So Sophos is an absolute channel first company. You can see we even call it channel best here. We're convinced we are the best organization in the industry to work with. We never take a deal direct. Period. It just never happens. And we're really excited that, oh yeah, another marketing slide. Sorry, that one snuck in. Yeah, we're well considered. But really excited that what we're running is a program for IAMCP members where we're offering you your first year of Sophos partnership at that middle level, that Sophos Gold partner level. So no need to carry out any of those other qualifications. We'll put you straight in as that Gold partner level. And what that's going to do for you is give you access to some really significant standard discount structures. I didn't mention earlier, but Sophos has a lot of products. You'll see on this slide, we talk a little bit about core products. For us, core products make up three things. It is our services, that managed detection and response service. It is our XDR platform, including our endpoint agent, where that's a good fit for an organization. And lastly, it's our network firewall, which incidentally, is native to Azure and can absolutely run both on-prem on our own tin or out in Azure. And then all other products are out in that other 10% bracket. But some really significant discounts here. I want to draw attention to the opportunity registration piece as well. If you are the first partner to say that you're working with a customer on a deal, we will give you those extra 6 points of margin to make sure and to protect you from other partners coming in. Part of that program includes not for resale. We will give you 100% discount on software and a 50% discount on hardware. That's essentially at cost. So some significant discounts there. I talked a little bit about the deal registration and the incumbency protection piece there as well. And I know I've rushed through this. I wanted to leave some time to see if there were any questions. I would love to answer any questions. I'm going to leave this up for just a little bit longer. These are our 2 contact details. If you've got questions about that partner program, and if there's more you'd like to learn, Eric, our Channel Sales Director, is the person to go to. If you have any technical questions, that's me, the nerd. I would love to answer any of your technical questions that come up right now or in general. So I will just say again, thanks so much for your time. We really value the partnership with IAMCP. I think this is my 4th or 5th chapter meeting, getting to do the rounds and talk about these 2 different approaches that we feel really differentiate Sophos in the industry, both to our customers and to our partners. So thank you for your time. I'm certainly going to be sticking around. Please feel free to drop any questions in the chat at me. Otherwise, if there's any questions live in the room, I would love to answer those.
Minutes for questions. Felly.
Yeah. Andrew, this is Felly with Managed Solutions. So there's a new sheriff in town with AI. So what is Sophos doing, or what is Sophos seeing as far as all these attacks? And what are you doing to, I guess, implement ways of kind of attacking that through the Sophos systems? I'm sure you have some highlights on that.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's funny, not only is there a new sheriff in town, there's a new bad guy too. I hate that we always give the bad guy a gender, but there we go. So what the good news is, so far, the focus we've seen attackers using AI is really to make their social engineering just a little bit better. We have not seen them leverage it on like malware creation or anything like that for a few reasons. We think the biggest one there is that, and I don't know if anyone's played with ChatGPT or played with Copilot, but it has a style. Like I think you can tell when you're reading something that ChatGPT 4.0 wrote. And that's what we think we're seeing with some of the malware reasons as well, is it has a style, and the more commonalities there are, the more chance we have of blocking and detecting something. We're leveraging AI heavily in our protection platform all the way through. If we're using our endpoint agent, we've got ML that runs on there to look at files, URLs, to look at the interactions and behaviors. If we're using our XDR platform, we have a ton of different AI there that's looking to identify anomalies, helping us with that correlation and that cleanup to really accelerate the speed of response. We're actually just in an early access program as well for a chatbot. It is essentially a virtual security analyst where from anywhere in the investigation platform, you can just say, I need some help, and you can start talking to this virtual assistant. So we're really excited about those. I will be a little bit cheeky, and I will plug a session that is coming up in just a few weeks. I'll drop a link in the chat. Our field CTO is joined by an analyst from IDC, and they are going to be going into tons more data points and tons more commentary on the state of AI from an adversary and a defensive perspective as well. Great question. Thank you.
Thanks, Andrew.
All right, who else has a question for Andrew? Yes.
Andrew, question. This is Mark from MHL Tax. My question is, do you guys also do anything relationship of small businesses as well? Great question.
Yeah, we've got a dedicated small business team. We love small businesses. To give you an idea, our endpoint SKU, our endpoint XDR SKU, the minimum sale on that is 5. We have firewalls that are suitable for very small organizations, desktop-sized firewalls. I run one at home to give you an idea. Like that's the scale of them. So we tend to be a really good fit for small businesses, both from a product simplicity to manage perspective and from that service, because especially small businesses, they really don't have the resources to go and hire the necessary security teams that they would. And one little bit of myth busting I'll do is a lot of small businesses tell me, oh, come on now, the attackers, they're not coming after Joe, the Dr. Joe dentist's office. And that might be true. That might be true that they are not actively targeted out for who they are. But what attackers are really good at is being opportunistic. So if they are running a firewall that's got some vulnerabilities on it, attackers will find that. If one of their users gets a little sloppy and starts logging into phishing emails, that the attacker will absolutely take advantage of that. So we love small businesses. Yep.
All right, what about our virtual attendees? Any questions? You want to raise a hand? All right, anybody else here in the room for Andrew? Well, we appreciate it. Thank you so much, Andrew. As you mentioned, you'll be here. So if anything comes up, feel free to either put it in the Teams chat or contact someone here. We can get that over to Andrew, but we appreciate it and thank you so much.
Thanks so much, everyone. That's cool. Thank you.
All right, now coming down to our local chapter here and some of the updates that we've had going on. Recently, how many in the room were at SMB Tech Fest? Okay, that's a decent showing. This is a quarterly event. One of our past presidents for the SoCal chapter, this is his event that he runs, and we had an opportunity to have some of our folks in their room stand up if you were part of the panel at SMB Tech Fest. Eric in the back, got many, Jason, Ramon. Great opportunity to come up, talk a little bit more about our space, what we've had going on, some slides there. There's always a vendor booth. So this is the next event coming up April 17th and 18th. That is the registration. This is free to IAMCP members and guests. So you get hot food served, there's a happy hour, lots of networking. Myself, Brian, Danny won some cash on Friday. There was a kind of a thought leadership, finding ways to drive creative ideas, and I guess we came up with some good ideas. We won first place. So always great incentives to join, and ways that you can drive value from the connections, as well as some financial gains if you're lucky enough. So we'll hope to see you there. We will be there in April, and many of you, we registered there on the spot to introduce you here today. So thank you for joining us. I will turn this over to Brian because I do not like numbers. So I will give our financial report to our past treasurer and now president, Brian Newman.
Brian. Before I do this, Ice Adams, are you there? Yeah, Ice, I see you, but I don't hear you.
She's having internet challenges.
Yeah. Okay. In that case, I will fill in for her. So Ice is our treasurer. She's done a terrific job. She kind of fell into the role in the middle of 2024, and she's jumped in with both feet. Interestingly, she was in Long Beach for quite a while, and she is now in Belize. So there's nothing in the bylaws that prevents her from being an officer or director.
Jealousy maybe on the board.
Yes, so she's in a nice place, apparently by the beach.
The next board retreat.
Yes.
We're going to see everything.
So it's actually
Just fly me down there and fix it in a bit.
Sign me up.
Very good. Okay, so I won't take much time, but I wanted to as Eric Klaus points out, once a year, present something that relates to the financial stature of the organization. And we've been fortunate that we've had good financial results. A lot of it kind of relates to some of the sponsorship activities, including the golf tournament that Ashley was kind enough to manage last year. All right, so just briefly, the way that the financial calendar is structured, we report to IAMCP Americas on a fiscal year that begins July 1 through June the 30th. So what ICE did for us was to kind of give us the 12 months ending June 30th on the right-hand side. So for the entire year, roughly $29,000 in revenue, expenses about 10, net income about 18. The chapter had quite a bit of cash at that point in time. But what ended up happening toward the latter part of the year was a golf tournament also popped in there. So the golf tournament generated some revenue. We also had some expenses, but in that 6-month period that ended in December, a loss of about $10,000, which is not unusual. So the net equity, which is pretty much cash, has diminished to $22,000, but it's still a lot of money. One of the things that Ashley and I have talked about is like, okay, well, we have this set of funds. What do we do with it? How do we make things better for the members of the organization? So that's a conversation that we'll continue to have to deploy those funds to make it valuable for the members of IAMCP. So, is there one more slide, Ashley? Good. Okay, so each year that we had one, a little bit about the golf tournament. And you can kind of see that the revenues were significant, lots of sponsors, golfers, and so forth. Ice Adams and I, and we were walking around with iPads trying to get the people to buy raffle tickets at the dinner afterwards, which seemed to work out quite well. So some expenses in the neighborhood of about $36,000, which netted us about $11,000. And Ashley has made relationships with Art McDonald House of Orange County and the Brazil Foundation. And the $5,000 each went to each of those charities. So we did fairly well and left a little bit left over for the chapter. So that's pretty much how the year ended. I think we did quite well from a financial perspective.
I will do a plug right now for the golf tournament. We do not have a 2025 tournament on the books. We are actively looking for a chair for this committee that would be interested in scheduling an event. We've talked about spring versus fall anyway and could do something early. Last year we had about 14 months of planning, and the gray hair that came after the event on my side, I bowed out for this year, and we'll be willing to support if we can get someone to really take that into consideration. We do have a production company that we've worked with, 19 Hole Productions. It is a lot of great service that they provide. There's a ticket value that comes with that for their services as well. But we also want to be inclusive of other ideas, other fundraising, philanthropic efforts, things that we can do that all of you are interested in. And I don't golf, and many others, when I reach out and do marketing, don't either. So if you have ideas or you do these types of things for other organizations or affiliations, please let us know. We want to meet our collective with the events they want to do, and who knows if that's going to be pickleball or poker. So we need to hear from all of you, and we'll take that feedback into consideration. A little bit more about WIT. This is the coupon code and the registration link. So $10 off your individual membership for being a part of both groups. And it is something that I would highly recommend. You have an opportunity here coming up next week. On February 11th, we have a great presenter. She's been asked to come back on numerous occasions, Christine Dunham, and we'll be at Quintana Software in Irvine from 5:30 till 8. How many in the room have already RSVP'd? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I would like to double that by the end of the meeting. So those 5 that raised their hand, if you can help others in the room, this is going to be crafting a personal vision statement. If you define it, believe it, then you'll do it. And again, I can't say enough about Christine, full of energy. It'll be a lot of fun. And we hope to see you there. Okay, this is a professional mentoring program. Who would be good to talk a little bit more about that? Jason, perfect. I don't want to not do it enough justice. So this is your baby. Go ahead and tell everyone more.
So not all of us are in Ashley. We're all on the spectrum on our way to journeying to where Ashley's at. Developing our professional experience and on that career journey. So in order to help our members along through that journey, we've created this professional mentoring program to pair those that are working through to those that are on the other side of it and can pass their wisdom and experience down. Right now, we've got 4 pairs of people running, mentees and mentors. We're looking to see if there's any others that want to participate. If you do, hit me up or pop onto that QR code right there. I can tell you all about it after the meeting. Thank you, Ashley.
Thank you. Just to be cognizant, our remote attendees, any questions or anything about the SoCal updates, input, or more to talk about? I am remembering you're there, but feel free to raise a hand or interrupt appropriately if you want to hear more. We appreciate you attending through Teams. Our next meeting like this, the traditional monthly meetings, will be on April 3rd. We will be back at the Microsoft MTC, our longtime home and traditional venue. So we have secured it for our next several meetings, and we'll try to beat everybody out for the rest of the calendar year as well. But this will be, again, 12 to 2. Lunch will be included. We are about buttoning up all of our programming, but would hope that all of you, we can see you there. And just to have a save the date there, it is April 3rd at the MTC on the other side of the freeway on Park Plaza. All right, I think that comes up to some announcements here. So many of us in the room, but if I can get the 2025 newly elected board of directors to come up and just say a quick hello. I know we have 4 of the 6, it looks like. Ice, I know you're having audio, but if you want to come on video just to give us a smile. Tushar, I do not believe is on. He's been traveling.
Tushar's busy.
Anything you'd like to say, Brian, our repeat president, by twisting his arm ever so slightly for one more term?
All right, well, I guess I'll tell you that story. When I first became treasurer, Eddie Bader was on my left, Eric Clough was on my right. They both twisted my arm, and that's how I became secretary. So that was my first foray into the world of the IAMCP SoCal Chapter. Since then, been treasurer, the recovering treasurer, the Reverend Marcom chair, and then as you remember the story, Eric on my right and me on my left. And that's how I became president. So this is my 2nd year as president. With the New Year's resolution of becoming past president. So I'm doing my best to support Ashley so that she can have any kind of it next year. Thank you.
I've heard enough from me, but excited to be here once again, focusing on a lot for our membership and programming more than golf and some of the events as previous, but always here as a sounding board. Again, we're trying to solicit feedback on what you want to see for the remainder of 2025. We've got Tushar Puri again as secretary. Ice, any?
She said she can't.
No, okay. Well, our lovely Ice in Belize, it's probably because she's on the beach. It doesn't want to make us jealous, but we appreciate you being here.
Coconut internet, they say.
And then Fred, go ahead and say a few words. And
Hello, Fred Cooper again. Again, because I've been director for a little while, I'm comfortable in that level. Don't really feel the need to go higher for me, but thanks for voting. I help with sponsorship. I help with events. For those of you interested in sponsoring, $750 for today. if we start to grow, that could go up. We're currently booked all the way until October and December. Those are the 2 final meeting lunches that we have available for sponsorship, but I'm happy to put together a happy hour or some other special event in between the months, in between the meetings. So hit me up. And I encourage you to meet with everybody in the room, the meetings in between the meetings. Go to different chapters, SoCal North, go to San Diego, SoCal or San Diego chapter. So go online, meet with people, because it's going to be invaluable.
Absolutely.
And we would love, to add to this list. So if you want to be on a committee, leadership or philanthropy, I just talked to Tim in the back, and Tim and Kate are interested in helping with philanthropy. So we're already starting off to the year, but they're going to help us out with some philanthropy, probably come up with some ideas. He's on the board for Brazil, one of the charities that we helped give a little bit of money to. We worked so hard to come up with 10 grand, and giving 5 grand to 2 different charities is like peanuts, but they appreciated it and it felt good to do it. Maybe we can take that number and grow it. So if you guys have ideas for events or things to do or topics, or you've got good speakers that are relevant to our community, we'd love to hear from you.
Do we do anything like community outreach by chance for, say, people who need computers or technology to help them out? Say you have a person who's disadvantaged and they need technology at their location, for example? Something I'd be interested in pursuing.
It's
Would you like to leave
funny
that,
that you mentioned that.
And our newest director at large. Perfect segue.
I'm coming back to your question, but I got to tell you people, 2 months ago, I stood right here and told you not to elect me to the board. What did you do?
I elected you.
So our goal is to better serve you. You heard both Ashley and Fred reiterate this. We thrive off of your ideas. If there's a program you want to run, if there's a community you want to serve, if there's a special project, if there's a speaker, come tell us. If you don't tell us, we're going to keep kind of putting things up that we think are right based on what we've seen from your surveys. Your best action for today is when you get the little survey at the end of the day, and there's like a Starbucks card in there and everything, and there's those open fields for like, what ideas do you have? Do not leave that blank. Put something in there. We want to adhere to the voice of the membership, and that's the best way. And if that isn't enough, then come talk to us. Now, on your subject, yes, as a matter of fact, Brian and the board have been working on how do we respond to the fires that impacted our community recently.
Actually, can I add something to that?
Yes.
So I had a conversation with Brian's twin in LAC, and her and I are in talks about us taking LAC together.
Perfect.
So why don't we do that with OC as well?
Yes, we're trying to fashion exactly what that's going to look like. So we've been we're on like a 3rd draft of an email to the membership about it. So I'm going to come find you at the end of this meeting.
Please do.
Bring your ideas to us so we can make them happen for you.
I have one last thing. Have we finished our introductions for the board? Good.
Yes, we are.
Anybody who is on a committee or chair of a committee, would you please stand? Okay, so the directors are doing much, right? A great service to the chapter. So thank you all.
Thank you.
That's something I would consider slipping away.
All right, I think that this is the opportunity where we're going to do our introductions. Membership, are we wanting to take our guests and sit in the foyer out here as we did last time? If you have a red badge, will you stand up and follow Mario and William out? You're gonna hear a little bit more. We're gonna try to get you to sign up today, or if not, do the $1 for 90 days.
Sorry.
Thank you. All right, let's go ahead and start with our virtual participants. And I realized I goofed. We can either do what did you do for the holidays? I guess it's February, or if you have any fun plans for Super Bowl. No, I think we've tried, but so just a little something fun to get to know you. But let's start with our past president, Steve Tanner.
Hello, Ashley. Thanks for putting a great presentation together, everybody. Nice job. So I'm sitting in Sierra Madre, California, watching the rain come down, washing all the soot and dust from the fires from a few weeks ago. So happy to be back in our homes since then. I've been part of IAMCP now for quite a number of years, and I don't think I could do as good a job as you guys are this year. So thanks, Ashley, Brian, and team for taking on the assignments. As far as what I plan to do for Super Bowl Sunday, last Sunday I thought I was doing pretty well, and I came down with the worst flu I've had in my personal history. So I'm just actually now getting back to some kind of normalcy. So I think I'm going to celebrate with a cold beverage, and wish my brother's team, the Buffalo Bills, were playing, but unfortunately they're not. So we'll have to do something better than that. Anyhow, have a great time. Nice meeting everybody. Look forward to seeing you at the next event together.
Thank you, Steve. Ice, I think you're still not able to come off. What about Pitch?
Pitch, are you there?
Going once, going twice.
Oh, see activity.
Uh-oh.
All right. What about Prabhat?
Oh, Provat.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Thank you for the opportunity to introduce again. Most of you probably know me. I'm representing Golden 5 Consulting. We are based in Los Angeles and Simi Valley. We are a Microsoft AOSG partner, and also in the CMMC cyberspace, we are also a registered practitioner organization. So if you have any DoD requirement or DoD contractor requirements, we're here to help with their licensing and what else. The newest thing which we have developed is the visitor app, which is again going towards the compliance piece, right? So if you have the office and you have the requirement to adopt the compliance where you need a tracking for the visitor app, normally you can track with using a writable register where you are tracking check and check out time, but we have now Power Apps available as well if needed. Thank you.
Thank you. One more time, Pitch.
He said he's. We're doing 20 seconds, right?
Yeah.
20 seconds, everybody.
All right. Well, thank you, those virtual. If any of you can reconnect, go ahead and put your hand up. We'll come back to you. Ashok, you're right there. You can go ahead and go next.
Hello, everyone. Ashok Patel with Aegis Innovators. We specialize in deploying a Microsoft security stack with our Zero Trust framework. And I'm the operations chair for the board too. Thank you.
Jared, why don't you
Oh, Super
start?
Bowl.
Oh, Super Bowl,
I'm going to
yes.
a Super Bowl party and I'm making jalapeno poppers.
That's the question. What are you bringing to Super Bowl?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hello, I'm Jared. My company's Broadbear. We mostly do infrastructure projects, help a lot of MSPs in the room. For the board, I'm the learning co-chair. So if you guys do have people you want to have us get up here and present, let us know. And for Super Bowl, just going to some friends' house. Starting the day with softball. We have softball for my little one, but just no games. We have practice. So that's Super Bowl.
Cooking up anything? No.
Go Eagles, just
Go
because.
Eagles. Go ahead, Roman.
Hi, everyone. Nice seeing some old colleagues and friends here as well. Roman Avanesyan, founder and CEO of Rovanti Tech Consulting, or Rovanti short. We're 100% Microsoft Cloud solution focused partner with 17 plus years of experience, primarily focusing on modern work, security, and business AI, and also providing some great adoption change management services, partnering with some of our old colleagues, such as Jason Price, and also provide cloud managed services. For Super Bowl and events like that, I actually like to be spontaneous, so we'll see.
Are you showing up in New Orleans or someone's house? All right, Fred.
My name is Fred Babai. I'm a partner chair at SoCal Chapter, and my business is B2B Sales Accelerator. We provide go-to-market strategy through sales and operation so we can scale and grow your business. For Super Bowl, no plans.
So spontaneous as well.
I know somebody making jalapeno poppers.
Go ahead, Sally. You can start your row and then one after the next.
Hey guys, my name is Feli Michaka. I'm with Managed Solution. I'm also the research tech analyst for Ramos Capital. We'll be ringing the bell at NASDAQ very soon, you guys. So the first Mexicans, imagine that at NASDAQ. Anyway, that's going to be exciting. Anyway, managed service provider, we basically handle the infrastructure for companies. If you're looking for an IT company that cares about customer experience, number one, and also obviously, as you know, cybersecurity. I have a passion for cyber, so I'm big on that. And welcome to the international meeting, the channel partners Microsoft.
Yes, go ahead.
Hello, everyone. I'm Dina Catrone. I'm the founder and CEO of GritLink. We're a workforce consulting and talent services firm. I've got about 13 years of experience. I specialize in everything across technology, go-to-market, sales, and then outside of that, also on the consulting side for workforce. That's anything from evaluating current organizational structures, personalizing the different partnerships and the technologies that you have, a little bit of change management as well, and anything really related to mergers, acquisitions, divestitures, and figuring out what to do with the talent and the folks that you have, and any sort of succession planning. As far as Super Bowl, if you heard me earlier, I am a huge Chiefs fan, so I know that I am very hated in that world right now. I'm no stranger to that. So I'm going to a friend's who's going to have a party, and I forced them to be Chiefs fans with me for the day. So that's all I've got going. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming.
Good afternoon, Jason Price, your Director at Large and CEO of Aston Price. So we are a service integrator that delivers specifically adoption and change management for end users. And so we partner with small firms and medium-sized firms to provide them with that business consulting angle and help users wire into the last mile of their capabilities. Football. You know what? If I don't have a dog in the fight, then I go for the underdog. But
there you go.
I can't stand dynasties, so I want to definitely see whoever's playing the Chiefs to win.
Before we go to Manish, we got a couple pictures from ICE in Belize.
Island is that?
In Belize?
It looks like Key Calker.
I don't know.
She's someplace.
But
That's her house, dude.
that is her.
Yeah, it looks
Wait,
like
she
she
just
conquered.
left where? Where was she before? Long Beach. To there.
I'm there.
I know, right? And I don't know how long she was thinking about it, but from our understanding, it was a couple weeks and she was gone. So good for her. Jealous.
No fried chicken and waffles there, though.
Once a Cali girl, always a Cali girl.
Is there a next chapter meeting in Belize now?
I said maybe the board retreat, so maybe I'll get you back. All right, we got Manish. She's going to stand for us.
That's the benefit of being on the board.
There you go.
No, not that I was aware of, but maybe treasurer. Hey, we got to look into that.
That's why it's so quick. We need some revenue, so everybody wants to be at the location like that. That's why I have created AI-based project manager. His name is Amy. So Amy is already on a Microsoft App Source. And whoever signs today, 1 month free trial, drinks on me. So right after this, we go to the North Italia. Everybody will sign for Amy on the app source for free trial, and then you get the free drink. My name is Manish. I'm with Think AI, and Amy is the product I just launched. Thank you.
Bravo, Crystal.
Go ahead, Jill.
Thank you. Jill Williams with 911 Campus Notify. It is my company, so I guess I'm the CEO. It's all things physical security and campus safety. So if you hear in the news about, these active shooters and, oh my God, we didn't know Johnny brought a gun to school, I help prevent that. So I basically point and tell other hardware people to do what to do, where to put what hardware and software.
We need you.
And as far as football, I could care less. As long as there's food and drink, I'm good. I'm invited to a party this Saturday. Why, I don't know, but I'll probably make chili.
If they've got the game, then we know there's problems with the officiating. All right, Fred Cooper, you're next.
Fred Cooper, I'm not standing up. I help businesses that either don't have an IT department or that need more IT help for their ongoing support. So managing their computers, their servers, their cloud environments, put your stuff in our cloud. But I work for a couple of nonprofits, one of them being Chalk, and they're looking for chain restaurants or chain stores that are willing to round up to charity when people are checking out. So whether it's the 12 cents from their coffee or they want to add another $5, looking to help them with an initiative to get more money, and it's free. It's good recognition for the business and it's good to give back. So if any of you have preferably Orange County based multi-location customers who'd be willing to do stuff like that, probably retail or restaurant, please let me know. And I'm also partnering with one of the cancer foundations that's national. So if you have somebody national, they're looking for that as well. Thank you.
I might have one. Yes, go ahead.
Hello, my name is Mark Levine. I am the co-CEO of MHL Tax, based in Irvine, California. We do system integration, networking, facilitation, and negotiation. We also happen to be partners with one of the largest e-waste companies in Southern California. So if anybody knows any clients who need computers or systems to spec, I can help with that. I can also negotiate things. We are proudly in, after 21 years plus in business, we're in 39 states in 9 countries and growing. But if anybody has any clients that have any unique needs, either a small business level, a residential level, or up the scale of that as well, we can accommodate you. I'm more than happy to work with anyone to get that job done. Thank you.
Yeah.
We also have remote resources as well.
Hello, everyone. My name is Cyrus Davijani. I'm an IT technical support professional with more than 10 years of experience focusing on network, operating system, and database administration. Right now, I'm in transition, looking for a job opportunity. And it was like 2 months ago, I connected with Jason. So I got a member of this wonderful networking group, and I hope something magic happens for me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hi, everybody. My name is Jamie Davenport. I'm with a company called Quadrant. Quadrant's been around for 15 years, and we're based out of Redmond. We're actually on the campus of Microsoft. Our founders are all from Microsoft, and we're in 10 countries. And we focus really on 3 main things. We are a premier partner, ISV, for all the fabric for Microsoft. We're one of 30 vendors across the globe that we were honored with that distinction. Also, we do a lot of data AI migrations from prem to cloud, cloud to cloud, for PostgreSQL, SQL, NoSQL, MySQL, anything database related. And then everything about Copilot on the AI side. We have people onshore and offshore that can help customers with their AI strategy and designs to optimize everything going on with AI. Happy to be here. Oh, by the way, Super Bowl. My head's saying the Eagles because I love their running back, and Jalen Hurts, I think, is going to play great. Even though I want the Chiefs, I'm going to say my head's going to say the Eagles. I think there's something in the air with this year with a little upset.
Okay. I like the prediction.
I think it's my turn. Well, my name is Palmira Perez. I don't have nothing to do with technology.
Welcome.
Thank you, but I'm a journalist, so I love to learn about everything. My primary profession is a lawyer. I have a law degree in Mexico, but I'm a journalist, and I have a company. It's image consulting and communications. So whoever wants to be in the Latino market in the image consulting and communications, you can come with me. And Feli invited me here, and I'm happy to be here. And about the American football, I don't have any idea. I love soccer, but I know it's a big, big event in the United States. Although I have 20 years living here, I still don't understand American football. But I love to join people for the avocado.
All right, Danny.
Hey everyone, Danny Numa. Brian's my dad, so I've been blessed to meet a lot of great people through this organization. Just really happy to be here. I am a Business Central project manager looking for my next gig. We're working with Jason and Cyrus through the job search group. Jason's introduced me to a lot of great people, including Dina. Dina spoke to our group and provided a lot of great information, so I'm glad she's here today as well. For Super Bowl, I think I'm going to ask Ashok for his jalapeno popper recipe. Great, so thank you very much.
Perfect. We'll probably get to some of our other guests, but we'll go ahead with you, Shahil.
Yeah, I'm a computer science student right now at Cal State Fullerton. I just came here as a guest, wanted to kind of meet and see you guys in person, but my end goal is once I graduate, I ended up working and experiencing with the company and then having my own small business. So that's something I'm looking for, maybe in cybersecurity, but yeah, that's.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Dulce. It means sweet in Spanish. And I'm also a computer science student at Cal State Fullerton. And right now I'm a senior, so I'm excited and nervous at the same time. And the same thing, I don't know anything about American football, but I love the energy, I love the food, and I just tell my friend, just tell me when to yell. Like, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Giovanna, and I'm a third-year computer science student at Cal State Fullerton. So excited to be here. Dulce invited me, and I'm just looking for an internship in software engineering and anything. I'm actually learning about cybersecurity right now in my class, so just broadening my knowledge in computer science and open technology.
I'm going to introduce Kate. She's with my guest. So I'm Tim Martin. Most of you know my company is Action Point. We have reinvented ourselves as Treaty Software. The reason for the name is we're based in a town called Limerick, where everybody speaks in 5-letter rhymes all the time. But Limerick is known as the Treaty City. When I was a kid, we called it Stab City for a whole other reason, but the real name is the Treaty City. So we're Treaty Software. Basically, we come alongside MSPs. We're technically a software development company, but we do digital transformation, just automate business processes. So we come alongside MSPs, come to us. They tell us, my client's got an old database that a guy designed for us 10 years ago and it's falling apart. And we come in and modernize it. That's kind of, we help with legacy systems. Like a lot of my Latino friends here, I'll be watching real football on Sunday. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Oh, hi, everybody. I'm Doming, and I own a small software company called Gaia Tech. We specialize in some special purpose mathematic modeling, and also the most recent and most significant project that we've been working on is that we've been trying to help one of the biggest battery producers in the world. If you own an iPhone, there's a 50% chance that that battery of that phone exact cost was calculated by our mathematic model. So we are pretty focused on logistics and manufacture or the supply chain in general. So we did that because Oracle or SAP haven't been able to do exactly that purpose for the past 40 years. So if you got a significant or either too hard or either too insignificant math problems, that'd be all yours. And in terms of football, I have $2 in a wife at home, so I guess I don't think there's going to be any plan for that. Thank you.
where'd you go? Oh.
Everybody, Joe Cristiano. I spent 24 years of my life at Microsoft. I joined when Microsoft got into business applications through the acquisition of Great Plains. That is now a $5 billion business, and I was at it from the origins. I spent my entire career at Microsoft working with partners. So I have a passion of helping partners navigate Microsoft, and I do that in my current role at a company called Cielos. We are a partner's partner. Our business model is to help partners in the business application space, do business in the business application space. And that could be development services, managed teams, professional services. Dynamics, 5 billion is ERP products called Branded Dynamics, CRM, Power Platform, and all the agents that are coming out. That's how all sits under a guy named Charles Lamanna. There's about 10,000 partners in the Dynamics ecosystem, and those are our customers. And what I am doing tomorrow is getting on a plane at 8 in the morning to go to Tokyo. So I am not going to be watching the Super Bowl. I will be in frigid Tokyo with my significant other traveling and catching the score on my phone. Nice to meet everybody.
Very nice.
Hello, everybody. Ron, technical. We specialize in securing workflows in the media defense space and manufacturing. And starting joining on LLM securing Copilot and on-prem. The new Chinese revolution that you can run LLMs in a very efficient and economical way. We're now looking at offering that as a service for clients and maybe in the future.
He likes to go to lunch too, so invite him to lunch.
Hi, everybody. I'm Eric Klaus. I am the past president of this organization. So been a member of IAMCP SoCal and IAMCP Americas for 15 years now. I am the director of our Microsoft practice at Neoteric 365. We're a Microsoft Cloud, AI, and Dynamics partner focused on the Microsoft business applications and cloud AI solutions. We work with MSPs all the time. So if you have clients who are interested in AI, if they're interested in Dynamics, we'd love to meet with you, connect with you, and see if we can do business together.
What did we want to learn?
Oh, thank you, Brian. I'm also co-author of 4 books on AI and ERP and CRM solutions with Brian and Newman.
Oh, excellent.
Hello, everyone. My name is Andre with U.S. Service Center, and we've been in business for over 20 years, so we're very proud of that. So we are MSPs and specializing in cybersecurity first policy. And so we provide all one-call shop for all of our customers. And sorry, that's okay. But we are looking for partners that can do app development. We've got a customer just waiting to do that. So we don't have a partnership with anyone. So if any of you can do app development, okay, yes, then pass me your card, please.
My business partner can do that.
Yeah, sounds good. Connect with me.
A bidding war right now. That's what partner is all about. So we do the intro so you know who to hunt down as soon as we break.
And so, yeah, we don't do Dynamics or ERP, and you know, we like to connect with those people as well. So thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Danny Nguyen. I'm with ECO. We are a data and analytics platform built on Azure. I would describe ECO as the easier, the friendlier version of Fabric. So we target the ERP CRM space. But for partner-wise, we're looking for a system implementer, reseller. We can white label the product. So yeah, that's what we do. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Ro Kolakowski. I am 3 more past presidents than currently I'm the founder and owner of 6 Year Consulting. We're specialists in SharePoint. Our primary business model is we attach our SharePoint and automation support to MSP contracts to give you guys extra revenue and profitability. I know nothing about football. I had no idea. Super Bowl is this Sunday, so the weather's nice. I'm going flying. The weather's bad. I'm cleaning the garage, so I'm praying for good weather.
I appreciate that.
Maybe all of you should name yourself coaches, 47, of course, by now 12 or 13, something like that. Well, my name is Manish Bansal with Fifth Square. We specialize in all things gold. We carve gold, we specialize in creating jewelry. Oh, sorry, now that I've got your attention, gold meaning data. So all things data, everything, anything we call ourselves not just for data. So we would love to talk to you, Eco, and come from the dynamic space. So would love to chat with you and anyone else thinking about data, budgeting, forecasting. Feel free to reach out.
Thank you.
I'm Joe Heatherton, work with Tech Range. We've been around for 25 years. We specialize in buying, selling new and used refurbished hardware. In addition to that, we also do recycling. So we do disk destruction, disk wiping, DoD wiping, we're networking, phone systems, all older legacy equipment. Trying to get rid of some stuff. Customer wants to sell it for Super Bowl. I'm excited. My son's home. He was with the OC Fire Department.
Oh.
So he'll be on Sunday.
Real quick for myself, Ashley Dueñas, Director of Business Development at MW Partners. We've heard about BI and AI and Fabric. You need folks like that, come to me. We can get you the resources you need to deploy on projects or to partner on solutions. We can go to model as a recruitment agency or a peer partner that has the staff in the most skilled areas that are needed. So we really work with partners and are always looking for clients that want to scale their business with the most cost effective. The Apples, the Walmarts, they come to us through other staffing companies. They layer their margin, but it's our talent here in the Orange County area, but we do have a global presence. So if you're looking for resources near shore in Mexico, in Hyderabad for application development, we're also working in Canada and now Australia. So a lot of exciting things going on. Would love to schedule a discovery meeting with anyone that's interested. Mario, I think we missed you as a mentor. And
Sure,
William.
sure. I'm Ken LaCroix with Insightful Partners. Good to see a lot of familiar faces in here. We were members back pre-COVID, so we're just getting back into it. Looking forward to reconnecting. We are virtual and fractional CFOs. We help small businesses understand their numbers better. We use a lot of the Fabric and Power BI stuff. So good to see everybody again. Thank you.
Oh, sorry, I totally didn't realize I was walking into this. My name is William Pote. I own ETOP Technology. We're a managed service provider in Redlands. We're really focused into driving value out of the 365 product stack into our client base, involving from security through AI, because everyone has to do AI these days. But yeah, we love working with that 50 to 100 user space company in the Inland Empire. So.
Hey everyone, Mario Dueñas, Sales Manager for the Partner Masters. Our model is we really help support all Microsoft partners, every size, every level. I think if you were outside, Eric was talking about all the changes and the incentives and demystifying. And so what our organization does is really try to give you the easy button. I mean, as we know, it's Microsoft's game and we're kind of just playing in it. And so if you're interested in figuring out if it makes sense for you, it may. Certainly love to have a conversation with you. We actually, in fact, recently launched our new TPM and the portal, and it's free. And so basically, instead of you going out to 18 websites to get to the source of truth, we've already done that for you. So again, it'll cost you nothing. And happy to give you a tour.
Thank you.
I'd like to sign up for a tour. No,
Brian, I think you're our last member, and then we might be able to do names. I don't know if we can check time, but go ahead.
Okay.
For our guests.
Very good. Brian Inuma. For 32 years, I'd run an IT consulting firm focused on implementation and support of ERP applications for small and medium-sized businesses. I sold the company, been employed or semi-retired since September of 2023. I try to compartmentalize my week. So on Mondays, I end up doing some volunteer work for a nonprofit, one of which is Curute, which you might remember provides catering services for some of our meetings. I have done some work also with another nonprofit called Human Save. Both of them are focused on survivors of human trafficking. I'll do a little bit of a plug. So Fred mentioned some things he's doing for fundraising. We are also doing some things for human safety and Karut along those lines for fundraising. One of them is to attract corporate sponsors. So if you happen to get a piece of email or a call from me about being a corporate sponsor, you'll know where it came from. I think my day job is being president of IAMCP. He also did warn me that it's a time-consuming effort to be president. So I think we've done a great job of collaborating and organizing. So it's not quite as difficult as it was in the first year. The class also promises me that second year will be better. On Wednesday, I spent some time at a small manufacturing firm in an advisory role. Some of it's technical, but not all. But it's really interesting being in an advisory role as opposed to something that's execution. At some point, I hope to be on the board of directors of a private company, but that might be a next year endeavor. So anyway, thank you all for being here. I think this is going to be a great meeting.
Thank you. For those that we didn't get to that were guests that came in, we'll try to allow you at least the opportunity to say your name and the company you're with for the rest. But this is truly one of the most valuable pieces of our meeting. A great reason to be a member is to really get the inside track on who to partner with. Tim, real quick, go ahead with your announcement.
Fred just mentioned earlier about creating events in between, and just on the fly here, my business partner is going to be here next week, so I'm going to do a happy hour for anybody at any IAMCP. We'll host it, food, drinks. It'll probably be on Tuesday, so if you're interested, let me know. And
Like Irvine area or any idea?
Orange County, kind of Irvine area, yeah.
Okay.
It's actually your house. I didn't.
I moved to Roos Chris. So.
All right, thank you. And we're going to start calling our panel up. But first, I want to introduce our moderator. Bele Machaca is the Senior Field Engineer and Brand Ambassador for Managed Solutions, serving clients across Southern California. With over 23 years in the industry, he specializes in cybersecurity and cloud services, including Office 365 and Azure. He's a passionate advocate for technology education, engages in community outreach, keynote speaking, and mentorship at the Microsoft Technology Center in Irvine. He collaborates with public officials and media to inspire future generations and has been recognized by city officials and the U.S. Congress for his contributions to tech education and workforce development. Thank you, Bele, for moderating, and you can introduce your panel.
All right, you guys. Well, this is my favorite part of the meeting because we get to apply some of the information. I think marketing and sales is huge, especially with what happened with AI. How many of you agree, right? We need to be up to date with what's going on. So I want to just introduce real quick because I want to really learn from them today. Ladies first. Dina Catron, please come to the front. So Dina. How you pronounce your last name? She goes Catron. Okay, like Patron. I love tequilas. I'm gonna remember that. And we also have Clark Underwood. Go ahead, Clark. And we're gonna have also last minute invite, but I think we want to hear and learn from him. Yes, please. Mr. Eric Klaus. Of course. You guys can have a seat. I want them to introduce themselves, and I'd like to start with just saying this first. I believe there's enough tech talent in this room to not only run California, but really run the country. I really believe that, okay? I also want you to give a hand to our students from Cal State Fullerton, please, you guys. It's very important that we empower the next generation. So always gets me going when I see these students. It just fires me up. So anyway, let's go into application and marketing. Eric, if you can introduce yourself, and then we'll talk about marketing. But just real quick, I mean, you introduced yourself earlier, but just what's your passion? What drives you?
So I have been on the sales side of the world for 30 years now. We'll call it 30. A little more than that maybe, but yes. My first job while I was in school, I got hired by AT&T as a college summer hire and then moved into a sales role with them. And basically from there, ran contact centers for AT&T for a while, ran contact centers for a number of other companies for a while. Through that, got familiar with CRM solutions in the early days of CRM, and moved into a sales role selling CRM in 1998. So I've been in the sales roles in one shape or form or another for my entire career. So sales and marketing is what I've done.
Awesome. Definitely gonna learn from you today. Mark, go ahead.
So I've been in sales, mostly the channel sales for longer than I want to say. But I actually chaired, for those of you, there's about 4 of you in here old enough to remember when Microsoft and Novell actually were going head to head as Windows NT came on the scene. Well, I was the Gold Council chairman for Novell. I chaired a 14-person council, and it was my job to filter out 2,500 gold resellers. What their needs were up to a 14-person council, and then I would fly to Atlanta and San Jose to tell Novell what stupid things they were doing. So I've been at this a long time. I've been on the telco side and I've been on the data side. So been around the block a little bit, both in business ownership as well as I've worked for 2 different very large VARs. I've worked for 2 large carriers as well, but currently back on the business ownership side, enjoying it.
Awesome. And now, wow. Oh, every time I see ladies in tech, again, because we know the minority is always, what, 3%, I think, for women in tech. So every time I see the ladies in this industry, that excites me, because then I know that this industry is for everybody. So that's when I saw Dina as part of the panelists, I need to hear from her. I want to learn from her. How can I apply this marketing AI skills into my career and be better at what I do? So, Dina, introduce yourself. Tell us what your passion is. Tell us where you've been all this time, and welcome to the Microsoft Channel Partner Meeting.
Yeah, thank you. Happy to be here. So I know I mentioned briefly, but I've been in the sales space for about 13 years across now 4 or 5 different markets. Born and raised in Chicago, so started my career off there. Very quickly after a polar vortex, moved all the way west to Santa Monica. And essentially I've been working with a ton of more of the enterprise space from a client perspective across all different industries. So I've recently worked with obviously globally renowned companies like Meta and Apple to help secure top tier talent for their teams. Worked with banks like AT&T, or I'm sorry, Bank of America, and then telco with like AT&T. And so everything for me, really my passion is meeting new people, understanding new things. I love to be solution oriented when I'm working with my customers. So for me, my conversations are more so around what is going on in their world, right? As opposed to just, I'm going to sell you something, or I have something that maybe you want. So primarily always in the service space, continuing to build my brand. And over the course of the last couple of years, I've been considering going off on my own. Started to see a little bit of a gap in my industry, just purely because, hey, AI, we see all these companies coming to the rise. And as large staffing firms are all focused on working with the Apples and the Metas of the world, I really want to work on the innovation side and really partner and really work within the ecosystem and not have the confines of like, this is what you can do, Dina, working at this company. So I've kind of switched my model from obviously, you know, not only just direct partnerships for any sort of contract to hire, direct hire, or executive search placements, but also have started now building those partnership networks, partnering with investors, supporting some of their VC companies in the portfolio, supporting them with consulting around mergers and acquisitions. So I'm loving being in the space that I'm in, but as any entrepreneur knows, you don't get much sleep at night because you're up figuring out how to do the next big thing. So happy to be here.
Awesome. All right, so let's learn today, you guys. So AI, that's the word of the year, right? So we would like to learn, let's start with you, Dina. How do you see the sales and marketing systems and processes incorporating AI? Because again, we are in 2025 is the year of adoption, massive adoption. That means that everybody here, at some point or another, you're going to use these tools more and more as day goes by. So can you tell us a little about that?
Yeah, I mean, I think across any type of sales, whether it's product or services, I mean, AI is bringing forth so much more information at such a faster pace that's relevant that you can create and correlate and customize specifically for the folks that are either clicking on your website or looking through your types of services. I think it also helps out with like how you want to present yourself, whether you're talking verbally or on a written basis. Some people, that's not their forte, and that's okay, right? But being able to utilize some of these prompts to figure out, how do I sell my value proposition within 20 seconds so that I'm not over talking? But I do have a huge caveat with AI in the space is that, and this is kind of controversial, so anyone's opinions, please throw them at me. But I mean, there really has to be a nice blend of still that human with some of the AI pieces. I can always tell. I mean, I personally just got an email this morning, and I could tell that they had used some sort of AI to say, hey, I loved what, Howard from, your previous client said about you on LinkedIn. But so I wanted to reach out to you to see if I could help you out with any sort of financial services. I'm like, those two don't go together, right? But so AI will give us this personalization prompt, which normally would be great, but it's just not applicable in this. So I think still making sure that you're looking over that, crafting it, making sure it sounds like you, right? Because if it sounds like someone else and you go to a meeting, you're gonna be able to tell, and it's like, whoop, I don't like this, I'm gonna go. So I think there's definitely going to be a blended mix, but utilizing it for personal messaging and for insights about who you want to target and the value that you bring them based on what's going on in their world, less about, I do this, could you use me?
So real quick, there's two sides of this coin. First, on the sales side, by raise of hand, how many are using Chat GPT? And I mean Chat GPT for, okay, how many using Copilot? How many of you have installed Copilot for Sales in your Outlook?
I don't use it, but it's there.
All right, so, it's moving quickly. That's on our side. From the sales perspective, there are things that we should be keeping up on as it's moving quickly. How do you expect to sell something if you're not using it? Okay, so you need to lead with this. I sat in a room with hosts of VoIP years ago at CompTIA, and everybody's complaining about, it's too fast, the sales cycle is too fast. I said, no, you're too slow. I've been selling hosts of VoIP since 2003. So you've got to get up to speed. And the second piece is you need to educate your customers that AI is not going to solve all of their problems. What does AI do? It regurgitates prevailing thought. Well, if I go, what's the best small business phone system? And it's going to give me 8x8, and it's going to give me some of these other things. It's not going to tell me that voice enabling the PSTN Teams Cloud Voice will save them 40% and increase their collaboration 30%. It's not going to do that because it doesn't look forward. That's our jobs as salespeople, to get in front of people, to help them realize what the benefits are of new technology. And so it's worse than Googling something. Now it's natural language model, and they're assuming that natural language is looking forward, and it does not. That's your job.
Wow, thank you. Eric?
Yeah, just to echo some of what they've said previously, I think, first off, be customer zero around using the tools, get familiar with them if you're not doing it today. The other element to that of, look, using AI in your business is a no-brainer in today's world. And it can help you generate, whether it's statements of work for clients, proposal documents, marketing collateral. I know a lot of us struggle with the creation of marketing collateral. Totally agree that it's not the end-all be-all of it, but it can get you that first draft and give you a clean, simple starting point to then work with from there to emphasize, your company's value proposition and, the rest of the strengths of your organization. Because I think one of the challenges, especially for most small businesses, is just, and I see this in the tech world, especially for a lot of us, we come into the tech world with a tech background. I've often joked that, especially for my MSP partners, if given a choice between helping fix a client SQL server or doing sales and marketing, they'll fix the SQL server even though there's 10 other people in their organization who could do that. they'll still do that rather than go and do the sales and marketing side. So at least use the AI to help you generate the things that you need to do to help grow your business. And then you can go back to working on the SQL Server.
Yeah. Now, talking about AI and growing your business, so you guys, the Magnificent Seven company of the biggest tech companies in the world, Microsoft included, they were only about $4 trillion market cap in 2020. After AI got announced in November 2022, ChatGPT, it's over $18-19 trillion in 2 years, just in 2 years. So that's why I believe that this conversation here today is important for all of us, because we want to capitalize on that, right? And that's why I want to go back to Dina again. Dina, so what is working for you now that didn't work for you 2 years ago? Because again, the AI era, right?
Oh, that's a good question. So, I mean, I think for me, biggest thing, and you just mentioned it, is some of the different proposal developments, where before I would have had to be at a company who has the document and has the language for me to change based on the client's need. And so now for me, having to not only work with different, businesses to try to formulate those things, that's a really good starting point. My teams and the efforts around the recruitment and the workforce consulting that we do, I mean, a lot of their work is very detailed in the space, talking to hundreds of candidates a day, but trying to figure out which ones are the best ones to prioritize in that day. So same thing with trying to identify a client. We're utilizing these different tools to help us tailor our searches, have better conversations, ask better questions, therefore making this process a lot easier for our customers as well, so that all of the 5-6 rounds of interviews that everyone wants to do, they do not have to do anymore, because the couple of rounds that we do are definitely more in depth. We've also used some really cool AI tools to test people on their different, technology and what they know and how they can put something together. So I think a lot of those things, I've had kind of the evolution of this not been, created and started, I think it would be a lot more daunting. I think you'd have to really creatively figure it out, and that's a lot of time. Doing something that's not spent in front of customers doesn't relate to revenue. So you want to be able to grab things like that to free up a lot of your time.
Exactly.
So I'm a little more tactical on things. There's a lot of things that don't work as well as they used to. Outbound email doesn't work as well as it used to. Cold calling. A lot of people don't even have phones anymore in these companies, right? So that doesn't work as well as it used to. Lots of things don't work as well as it used to. What's still working? This guy, I was out there for the non-member discussion, and he said the reason he's a member and been a member for a long time is because this is what's working. Networking is what's working, and it's human networking. There's a place for social media, but I'm telling you, if you come to me and say, hey, I want to deal with your cybersecurity, well, those are the keys to the kingdom. Do you think they're going to trust you just because you're got some cool post on social media? No, it's going to be a warm handoff from somebody they know and trust to put you in position for that. It's networking. It's your existing base. Mine your existing base. Mine your existing networks. Keep your LinkedIn up to date. Keep involved in people's lives, so it's not always just, hey, can you give me something? I have a philosophy that's unique I know in the sales world. I know everyone I'm connected to. I physically met them. I do not accept anybody. And this is contrary to what most people tell you about being a super connector and everything else. But LinkedIn's only as good as I can use it. If I can call that person and say, will you introduce me? That's the value that I place on that. So.
It's not what, sorry.
That's true. She did reach out to me, and I did not accept her because I have a hard rule.
Take him down, Nina, take him down.
I'm like, come on, I gotta get in there now.
It's true. It's not what you know, it's who you know. So anyway.
It's who you know and what they will do for you.
Exactly. And I really believe what you said about being there. You flew in from Phoenix this morning.
Yes.
Right? So you have to get up in the morning. You must see the value of meeting people in person.
Yeah.
That's why you were willing to get up.
A-list preferred with Southwest for a reason. Because a good friend will help you move. A great friend will help you move a body.
He was here 2 days ago.
It's that meetings that you don't want to go to that will change your life if you go. I'm telling you. So this might be that meeting. I don't know, but please let's take some mental notes and learn from these guys And obviously, let's learn from Mary class as well. Same question.
Well, you kind of just touched on it. So this community has generated more business for me than I'll say any other marketing I've done over the past many, many years. In fact, just 2 days ago, I had a former member reach out to me because they are doing a Microsoft Dynamics finance and operations implementation, and they are going to be in need of some resources. It happens all probably at least a couple of times a month. I get those referrals, and those referrals, as Clark pointed out, are solid gold because you automatically have trust. Something that Brian and I talk about all the time is trust is transferable. If I'm going to pick on William here for a second, if William refers a client to me, the likelihood of that client coming in and saying, great, I want you to submit your proposal. I'm going to shop you against 10 other partners and we'll see who comes out on top. Almost never happens. Almost never happens. Almost 100% of the time, we submit a proposal, we get the win. They don't even consider other organizations because they know William, they've got a relationship there.
Yep.
They like William, they trust him, they trust us because they trust William. The flip side to that is now you've got to own that and you've got to live up to that. So that's the other side of it. But make sure that, your delivery is solid and you'll be in a solid goal position.
I hear one key word in your talk, which is trust. Trust. All right, so this next question applies to everybody because I even want to learn how to turn those leads into massive production using AI. Okay, so Dina, let's go with you.
So here's my philosophy on turning leads, we'll call them, but I see it as a person that at some point, right, it's a long game, might need to use my service. So every time that I'm touching base with them or thinking about wanting to follow up, it's not for my own needs, right? It's not to be like, hey, did you get that budget yet for like the headcount that you wanted? It's like, oh my God, I was thinking about you. You love golf. I was at this event. They're thinking about having a golf tournament. Is that something you'd attend? Like, things like that, right? Or like just checking in and hanging out and like, how's the family? I mean, spending that quality time, whether you're at like, let's say a networking event or you choose to put yourself out there and go to one of those large conferences alone. I mean, I'd never start with like, hey, so what do you do? And if it doesn't align with me, I'm seeing way out, right? A lot of people, they try to make that quick pivot because they're like, this is invaluable to me. It's not about that. It's just about being that really genuine human that's like, what brought you here? How are you liking it? What have you engaged with the most? The question ends up coming up of like, what do you do? And then there's the automatic thought process of like, I wonder how we could provide value to one another without that pressure of like, I'm trying to sell you something. The entire goal of, I think, being in sales is not to sell something to someone, but to create the connection that innately matches that if it's something that they need. And they're going to love the process doing it with you, and they're going to trust you because you're not just trying to knock on their door and continuously try to call them to ask them, are you ready to close the deal? Or are you ready for this project? Or are you ready to hire these people? Because it's not about that. So just keep it very genuine and take the time to get to know the people.
Adding the value will help you gain business.
Yep.
Wow.
And it's a long game. You're not looking like, you can't be tunnel vision looking for the client or whoever it is immediately. You play the long game and it will come back tenfold, I promise you.
So we have a person that referred us to a company in the Pacific Northwest. And they referred us to a second, we successfully entered that engagement. They refer us to a second person, that person won't give us the time of day. So rather than just keep asking the same question, Tuesday, we flew to San Diego and met with them and invested time with him. Now he's got 3 other companies he's trying to get us involved with, but it's going and physically investing the time to meet with that person and engage that person to make sure that that referral source that I have is fully engaged. I would never get that over the phone, just wouldn't. You can only develop friendship through shared personal experiences. This is why social media is so damaging, especially in sales. It's a crutch. Stop using it as a crutch. It's an engagement, but in between, you have to have personal engagement for them to be able to learn to become a trusted advisor.
I like the engagement word, which basically has to say something like intentional.
Yeah.
It also have to be intentional. Thanks, Clark. Go ahead, Eric.
So your question originally was, how can AI help in these opportunities? And I think there are ways that you can use AI in the selling process, but maybe the most important thing is to be looking for where AI can help clients today. So first off, nobody's buying AI just because it's cool, right? No CFO is going to sit there and spend any money because, hey, AI sounds great. They're going to spend the money on it because it adds some value in the organization. And this is where I say, coming from the ERP, CRM world, the biz apps world, custom dev, however you want to come at it. But at the end of the day, you've spent a career solving problems for customers. And this is what you've got to be able to do to be able to sell AI. What is the problem that AI is going to solve in their organization? Identify what that challenge is and help them understand how AI can help them with that. Almost every conversation that I have with clients today, I start off the conversation with this because it resonates with almost everybody. In fact, I'll say that over the last year, I don't think I've found any company it didn't resonate with, which is almost every company today is starting from a point of do more with less, right? Whether that's less in the form of human resources, less in the form of reduced budgets, but at the end of the day, it's do more with less. It's not even do the same as what you did last year, right? Everybody's goals always go up every year. So it's do more with less. The second element to that is they want to figure out how can AI help them with do more with less. So if you can solve that problem for your customers, you can find AI opportunities.
Wow. Clark, back to you. What do we need to do to get better in the AI digital market world? And I know that a lot of us want to hear that answer because, hey, we want to grow our business. We want to leverage AI, but at the same time, we need to, be wise, right?
I'm still trying to figure out where the revenue opportunity is in AI for me, right? Because so much of this has been free to this point.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's an ancillary discussion to other things that we're doing, right? So it's got momentum in the marketplace, as I call it. So it's a door opener. It's a tip of the spear. Maybe I'm not selling it, but if I'm educating, then I can ask them about how are you connecting the PSTN to Teams? How are you doing your security? It's the point to open the doors more than make me money at this point. There will be a time when there will be products and services that we sell, but I think that's the stage we're in right now, is being a little bit smarter than the person you're talking to. That's what makes you an expert.
Well, we're running out of time, but just to wrap it up, I want a piece of wisdom that you can give us.
I think get out of your house as much as you possibly can. Human interaction is the number one thing. And I, for one, have lived in a bubble for 3 years of being like, this is really nice. And I can have more meetings because I don't have to drive anywhere. And then I realized it's actually the opposite. So it might feel uncomfortable. I just went to a conference all by myself a couple weekends ago in San Diego. You feel weird. You're like, who am I going to talk to? But you just naturally start to form those connections. So do that. Go to a networking event. I think I'm doing a speed dating thing next week. That's for professionals in the technology space. I'm like, that sounds fun. So just get out of your comfort zone.
You guys, I stop basically accepting invitations for webinars. You might hate me for that, but I agree with you. You just have to be involved. You have to shake hands, smile, and you just don't hug everybody.
Know your audience. If you want to use AI, develop a prompt that gives you information about the individual and about their company and educate yourself before you engage. That's what